Savage Excel from Instant Celebrity, then Geetra, but it's Forster. Savage Excel takes the Goodwood by 2 lengths to Instant Celebrity and Geetra third.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot. I've got DK, the punter's punter.
Yes, Scoot, here we are.
Lights on. You're not a scratching?
No, not a scratching. Scratchings drive me insane, late scratchings. What about that? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Nico Noonan's joined us off the back of Ballarat.
Yeah, good day yesterday out at Ballarat. Managed to find a few winners there, so hopefully we can keep that going into Saturday.
It was a big win, Chief Altoni, wasn't it? And disappointing one for mine was Tadashi Hamada. I tell you what, that horse has got life from me.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the parades of the day, so to see him sort of run as poorly as he did, maybe there was an issue there, but he definitely looked better than what he did at Warrnambool. Chief Altoni, though, that was a huge win. And then just on the way home, going to KFC at Belen there, I saw Alex Ray just sort of tuck it into the KFC.
Oh,
so the winners feed there, the
Well,
KFC.
that's it, the winners
on the way
feed, the KFC. It's universal, isn't it? He does not a bad job, Alex Ray. What about the first? How'd the first look in the crew class?
Some really average maidens to start the program, wasn't it? And then it got scratched at the barriers.
Right.
So
it was a complete. I thought it was a moral, and even you know how when they play up in the gates, and then at those odds, normally you say, "Oh, fucking scratch the thing, scratch it."
Yeah.
I was saying, let it run because it still would have won.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have mattered. None from 18 won the race. Some hack, So and that's on top of the late scratching the other day at Tachuka, the thing with the swollen face.
Yeah.
Well, mate, you want to see the punting form figures for that race? There's legless and there's worse than legless, and they're worse than legless. It was. He would have won as well. Anyway.
I'll tell you what, Saturday, it was like Black Saturday. Gee, there were some results for the bookies, and it's lucky, I think Eduardo was the pin-up horse, for one of the only heavily back favourites that got the job done. But Nash, I couldn't believe that Nash didn't steer him off the fence.
really?
Yeah.
Look, he was one of the heavily back favourites. Flemington was a bit of a bloodbath.
Tough.
There's some other races. There was a $131 shot that went up in Queensland
That was the horse that Holbert swore his head off and got
Criminal
charged.
defence.
Criminal defence, yeah. Wanted to kill O'Malley or something, didn't he?
And it was a quiet ride, Senior Toba. It was just
Senior
an absolute
Toba,
pipe opener for the Derby as well.
Yeah, he does look a horse who, getting out to 2,400, he looks like he's going to be really suited. It's a really good card up there again this weekend with the Doomben Cup. Of course, Bris Vegas show coming up later, punters, so you want to be tuning in there.
So all the good jocks are up there, I saw. All the good jocks. So
Yeah,
really
going
warming
up there, the
really
Roll
hotting
Dice
up.
horse. Yeah, it's fascinating. And Realm of Flowers, emphatic winner, wasn't it, in the qualifier for the Melbourne Cup?
It just showed you just a complete opposite in run from what it was in the Sydney Cup. Buried down on the fence, couldn't build any momentum. And then it was just in perfect spot for Mark Zahra to blend into a staying race at Flemington and pissed in. So it just shows you, you don't on stays, you do want to be starting to build your momentum at the 600 or whatever it was, not being held up on the bloody fence.
And he was just, like we sort of said going in, like Mark Zahra riding in that meeting, he was the rider. I think he ended up riding 3 winners from memory.
Yeah.
That ride on Rubble Flowers was A-class. Look, I'm a bit question mark on what she beat. Like, Persan doesn't look like he's 100% there, his last 2 runs. And then Miami Bound paraded really bad. I was happy to lay her from the yard the way she paraded.
Well,
so
that makes sense then.
And then she's beat Grand Promenade. So I don't know if she's a Cups contender off that, but she's in the race and she's going to be in there with a lightweight. I think she's like $21 at the moment.
Got beat in a Sandown Cup or something.
You couldn't take $21 in the Cup. She's a dead set 70s chance, I would have thought. But too good on the day.
It's amazing. Last year's Bulldozer, back in May, she's gone from a benchmark 58 to all of a sudden here she is knocking on the door of the Melbourne Cup. But nearly got beat that day at the even money quote. So
that
it's
was
amazing.
good watching her out the back when we had her in multis and everything trying to get going at the Bulldozer. But she had to have a run to get into she won the Group 3 fillies race over there the next start. It was sort of like a fill-in run.
But it was good tipping at Scone early. You and Walt just saw the first couple of winners at Scone. And you just went
Scone,
bang, bang.
Really versatile.
Shah ready.
That was lucky because I only saw my Flying Finch in because I was prepping for the show here and said, I'll have a look what's going on at Scone. Flying Finch, what's it doing there? Like, feeding him, gone from Benalla to Scone. So I don't know if it's one of those Bob spread or something like that were the reason why it was there. But, he won. And the thing Joe Walter, it was a good watch, the thing Joe Walter liked. So got the punter some money there, whoever was following the Twitter.
Have we heard from Walter since the Cup?
I think he serviced yesterday, didn't he? 5 days later or something.
He was taking a long walk off a short pier. So I don't know if he's sort of taking that sort of action.
Scooty was on it too. I think I only watched the replay, but it was a sick watch.
Sick beat, yeah.
No, it just after the first 2 winners, at Scone. I thought, oh yeah, how easy
Here we
is
go,
the punt?
here we go.
And then once Order again didn't get that clear run in the Scone Cup, my weekend and the whole week, they just went to absolute shit. But I took $24 the night before we recorded Bet Doctor, and then when Walt came on the show and liked it, I probably should have loaded the place and gone again. And then I saw it not long after on the Friday, and it was into $8. But that's as sick as it gets. Like, what a find, Walt, off the trial on that synthetic surface, and then to have absolutely no luck and not a clear run of them. It just... They're game changers. They can just set up your whole year on the punt, can't they?
What?
It's just so cruel.
And you only get one. And one like that might turn up again for 3 months,
Jesus.
And then you've got to make it count, get them to win for you. And one might only win every 6 months, but like I said, it can set you right up.
You need to be a sucker for pain to love the punt and to just keep betting. Like, you just need to bounce back.
And that's you get better with that over time. But
Yeah.
it is the bounce back factor, which I was, the bull Wednesday to Thursday was, everyone saw it on show with me. It was headless Wednesday night and bounce back and home you go Thursday night. Happy days. So,
Yeah.
But you got to, but that's, mate, I've been doing it for 7 years, And you got to get out of bed and get up and do it the next day.
It's going to be a cracking episode today. Sorry, we got Murray Bridge best bets with Shane Adair, Lord Shane Adair, Lord Vadavostock.
That was a good find, wasn't it?
It was a great find, absolute pearl there. $8, $9.50 I think if you shop smartly there. Nico Noonan's going to do races 4 and 9 at Flemington. He's going to go. He's going to dig an old wound. Harder Puissance.
Speaking of reliving some pain, we'll be reliving some there after his sick beat in the Warble Cup, but we might touch on that a bit later.
And then we're going to have a look at Rose Hill too, the Lord Mayor's Cup, and Walt's going to preview another one. That's John Walter from Racing, which hopefully he's recovered from Order again last week. But this show's brought to you by puntingform.com.au. They've got 200-metre sectional times, and their benchmarks are the best in the business. They do Australia, Hong Kong, and Singapore. All us guys in the studio absolutely love Punting Form. Couldn't live without it. So make sure you give Punting Form a try for about $11 a week. You can take the first step to going pro. But up next, we're going to talk Adelaide first. Murray Bridge with Shane, beat the bagman, Adair. Welcome back to Bet Doctor. I'm your host, Scoot. I've got DK, the punter's punter, and Nico Noonan. Now it's time to talk Adelaide. Murray Bridge is the feature meeting over there on Saturday. And I tell you what, money bags, not beat the bags. It's money bags. Shane Adair joining us. Big MVP last week. Lord Vadavostock just come from one of the scurviest looking races ever, and then just pops up for a stakes win. Hat tip here, mate. Too good for me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me back on. It certainly was a nice weekend for myself and followers. Lord Vladivostok doing the right thing, courtesy of a lovely ride from Todd Panel. I hope our pockets are full. We can roll onto the bridge this weekend.
He's an ATM machine, isn't he, Todd Panel? He's absolutely airborne over there. He was a great steer on Cherry Tortoni. I think we spoke about it last week. And you just want to be on whatever he's on.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Lord Vladivostok, I mean, that's just another example of professional or guys who do the form intimately, knowing the animal. Shane knows that animal very well. He tipped it here a couple of months ago as well.
Yeah.
In its right race. And he's saying, well, it's in its right race again. I know this horse. Everything's going to pan out well, and stuck with him and got rewarded with, what was it, $7 or $8, Shane? So
$9.
$9 was it? Yeah, so good on you.
Fuck, I tell you
Thank
what,
you,
John Kelton, he might be on the bench for a good few weeks. He'll be filthy.
No, that's never happening, mate.
his-
I'm always second tier to the Eagle.
After his victory bandit performance, he has been relegated. And I see it got beat again there, Bagman. Yeah, Gaulet's gone over again, that horse on the weekend.
It did. I tried to stir you up on social media there, and it still got rolled again. I thought I would do the reverse mock this time, but no, still got rolled.
Couldn't help it. Back into the paddock for that horse, please.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Murray Bridge this Saturday. So let's have a look at race 5. Elders, what a company they are. Elders Livestock Wool Handicap, 1,200 metre race here. Odds on the screen, courtesy of topsport.com.au. And we've got He's a Bolter, not He's a Battler, He's a Bolter, 350 into 340. Bullet Kid, $5.50. Lope de Wolf, $8. Our Deep Agenda and Ranger Frank, $10. The replay that you've asked for here, Shane, is He's a Bolter. And let's have a look at its last 400 here.
The old Chalagotis horse, this one.
Yeah, the Galagotis runner up front there. Yeah, he's a bolter there, isn't he? Those sort of dark green colours next to the grey. Look, it was only average this day, I thought, but I think the main points to take out of this was he was ridden a lot closer to the speed this day, and this is a benchmark 82, this event. He goes back to a benchmark 60 today, and the drop back from 1400 of this event to the 1200 metres of today. He's got R-Man in the saddle, Todd Pano, as you said, at the ATM machine. With the wide draw, he'll get a cold run. Todd Pano is arguably the best rider on the state on swoopers. There's been a little bit of early support. This will be getting home. He's a bolter. Race 5.
Will Clark can drop him back, and I'll tell you what, he's just a money trainer.
He can do anything. Just on that, just this Murray Bridge track, Shane, it's obviously it's a standalone there. Any intricacies? Obviously you're saying you can run on there. It's a track you can run on.
Yeah, it's definitely a horse's first, I guess, swoopers. The biggest problem at Murray Bridge is the wind. I think it's getting cover during the run at that venue. It gives every horse a chance. It's arguably the best track in the state, if not Australia, surface-wise. So it's just getting a little bit of cover. It's very open there. So if you can get a little bit of cover in the run, it's usually a little bit breezy, and then the horses can let down well, and you're right in the finish.
Wow, a little bit of a trumpet that I heard there. Best surface in Australia, bag. Wow, that is a big call. But probably,
Well, they did renovate it recently, didn't they? They did a big reno there or something.
It does look fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
It reminds me of the Pakenham.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It is.
Yeah, and with the wind, Pakenham with the wind down there.
Well, it just looks like there's nothing around Murray Bridge. It just looks like a racetrack, and Pakenham's the same.
Yeah.
There's just nothing around it, no trees or anything like that for protection. So, yeah, if the wind gets up, definitely plays a big sort of part in how those races are run, for sure.
Fast forward 10 or 20 years and see how good it is down there. I'm sure Pakenham will come a long, long way. Who's the dangers here to his bolter, Shane?
Bad luck, I think, Scoots. This the benchmark 60 rating of this event has played right into he's a bolter. The last 3 runs have all been either at benchmark 82. The previous 2 before that were benchmark 68s. Those efforts on all those 3 events are good enough to be winning this, and I still think he's a pretty good bet at that 350.
Wow, it's a Nico Noonan launch job by the sounds of things, and that's what we like. Nice and simple there, so be all over that one. Race 7 is the next one we're going to have a look at. It's the Ridley's Plumbing and Earth Moving Handicap over 1600. They probably did the renos over at Murray Bridge. We've got odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Neodymium 370, cryptocurrency, DK's favourite, $5. Hasn't crypto had a hard week? It's a bit like my punting last Saturday. Alciato $7, Star Status $7.50, Crown Harmonium $9.50, and Skillful Steps $10. We're going to have a look at the last start replay of Star Status coming up the home straight. Talk us through this one, Shane.
Well, you're wondering where is Star Status at the moment? It's in the black and white stripes last at the moment with the white cap. You'll see it just get held up for a run here. It has to dart back to the inside. It goes under to the wide, pretty much under its own steam. The interesting part of this is what you don't see is it's also missed the start by 5 lengths. So this effort I thought was excellent. It goes to the line well. I think second up it improves out of sight according to my ratings base. 1600 plays right into its alley. We'll get another nice run from the draw. I thought at around that $758 quote represented very good value. The other one I thought we could throw in was from the Michael Hickmont yard, was Alciato. 2 starts for his stable since arriving from New Zealand. Hasn't done a thing wrong. They're both around that $8 quote. I think we go. I think if we've got $10, put $5 on each.
Any further thoughts here? You boys haven't even looked at the race?
No, I haven't had a good look. It does look another one of those horses, those Star Status, that will be just sort of blending in down the middle by the looks of it. So if that's, we see he's a bolter to do that early in the day, you can probably have a bit more confidence in the track.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I noticed Shane was like those 2 things running on. I'll just point out one of my things is to find the new kid on the block, the new whiz kid, up and comer.
Oh, yes.
I reckon I've pegged him over there.
This is the whiz kid for sure.
Jay Opperman. So coming up to having 500 rides, which is so we've got a good sample, good under his belt, and he seems really impressive. Anything to add there, Shane?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, DK. He's really talented rider. He does a lot right. I know our stables are really confident when putting him on. He'll ride to instruction as well. He doesn't sort of take a ball under his own wing here and sort of does his own thing. He rides to instruction, rides to the track, and he's got a very bright future.
Yeah, that's good. Now, the other thing, importantly, Shane, a lot of people, when we're travelling to Adelaide, Now, some people would have been booked into the Intercontinental. Now, after what happened with Sam Lyons, everyone wants to change their bookings now. Where do we stay when we go to Adelaide? Is there a good joint there, please?
Eagles house. I reckon you could get
the mansion
on his couch, I reckon, or something. That's right. Yeah, I think the new Adelaide Oval Hotel is pretty good. I reckon you should go there if you're in Adelaide.
Which one?
The Adelaide Oval Hotel. It's a new development at the ground. It's not too far from the time-honoured Intercontinental where it's 1973 every day.
I think I stayed at the Hilton last time I went.
It's all right?
Yeah, the Hilton was a good shout. And I saw Matt Richardson. Richo loves to call the Adelaide games. He goes over there and he loves to
Richo man.
Have a couple of drinks when he goes over to Adelaide. But star status, I rubber stamp this star status. I fell into this horse first up as well at big odds there. So I spec'd it, and yeah, that's why it fell out of the gates 5 lengths last. So make sure you follow up on this one. It's probably a better chance. Sava to Excel. You weren't surprised, Bagman. It's a horse that you found as a bit of an improver all prep, and gee, I was kicking myself that I didn't back it. It made me sick. Tell me you had something on it, a mental health bet at least.
No, I followed you, Nick. I jumped off right at the wrong time. I thought the class may have found it out, but this horse is absolutely low flying at the moment. Bar and Forster gave it a nice ride on the fence. They all peeled off. Bar said, no, the fence is okay, and shot through for a very good win. I think what they say, 6K purchase. Owners have done a really good job there.
These are the best stories in racing, aren't they? It just shows that you don't have to go to the yearling sales, get conned.
Well, Behemoth's similar, isn't he? I think he was a $5,000 purchase or something like that, and he's a multiple Group 1 winner now. So, yeah, it just shows you don't have to buy the $2 million colt to be up there earning the riches. Bagman, what about race number 2? At Murray Bridge, just as a race that sort of piqued my interest. Looks a very deep maiden. Our man Toddy Panel, can he get another winner here?
Castle of Kings.
When Marcus went up, they launched in. I don't know if that was the Eagles' money or not, but they came straight for it. It's, as you said, a very deep maiden. We've got a few first starters that are trained on the track. The top weight there, Lomax, number 1, has been racing well and is knocking on a door of a victory. It will be worth casting an eye, though, on betting on Castle of Kings, the first starter to the Will Clarken yard from New Zealand. I think it's going to go very close. The money is usually pretty spot on with that yard.
Fantastic insight there from Bagman. And always factor the wind. Make sure you check the wind report at Murray Bridge. Can get windy down there. So horses that get cover and maybe run on could be suited at Murray Bridge. So nice little bit of insight there. There's no hotter punter in South Australia other than Bagman. Maybe Eagle. But the boys have held you in good stead. So he's a bolter is the best way to go there. Thanks for joining us, Bagman. Good luck on the weekend.
Excellent, guys. Have a great weekend.
See you, mate.
Up next, we're going to talk Flemington with Nico Noonan. We're going to relive the horrors of the Warrnambool Cup. He likes Heart of Puissance. And if you're having a bet this weekend, make sure you bet with topsport.com.au. They are Australia's biggest betting bookie. We can't do the streams without them. We've got the Lone Wolves tonight, and you saw them in action over the Bulldozer. So without TopSport support, we couldn't get the shows on the road. So make sure you bet with them this weekend. Up next, Flemington. Welcome back to Bet Doctor. I'm your host, Scone. This is a behind-the-curtain look at how pro punters operate. I've got DK, the punter's punter here, and Nico Noonan, and we're about to sink our teeth into Flemington racing back at headquarters. And race 4 has got a horse that just gave us all the eras. Luckily, we saved on Ladon de V, but the horse we're talking about is Heart of Puissance here. He was something beat in the Warrnambool Cup, and the emotion was there to be seen in the live stream room. But let's have a look at the market for Flemington on Saturday, and Heart of Puissance takes it up here. It's been $2.60 and $2.35. Wycliffe is $5. Moonlight made $5.50, Converging $7, and Fanciful Toff $8.50. Without looking at the race on his last start, you'd think he'd have a mortgage on this. But let's have a look at his Warrnambool Cup replay. Nico found him from the yard. He thought it was parade of the carnival here. Buried on the fence with a white baldy face.
Jay Allen's still on holiday from this. Still not riding from his suspension here.
Well, the key point to this race was the stablemates that were probably the biggest impacts to him. Skyhorse in front of him didn't let him out, and then South Pacific he just gave the ultimate hip and shoulder to there at the 200 metre mark, didn't he? Gee, it was a sick watch. You think if he maybe stayed in, he brings that margin back, and I think he probably should have won. It's just a matter of how much that takes out of him, that bumping duel. Like sometimes horses can be a little bit sort of flat off that, but if he's not, this is a weaker race than what he faced in the Warrnambool Cup, and this horse is only on an upward spiral. And, Johnny goes off, but you get Jamie Carr aboard. You lose absolutely nothing there. He's got this grouse run from barrier number 4 on the map.
Smaller field.
I was sort of surprised he was $2.35, to be honest. I thought the early shoppers in the early markets might sort of have a bit more of a look at him. I think the syndicates are definitely going to be having a look at him, especially with Jamie Carr aboard. He's just such a progressive horse in this race where I think he's starting to really learn his craft and get to the sort of top of his game. We saw this last start run in the Warrnambool Cup just before. Like he's shown the turn of foot he has. Like he's up against Moonlight Maid. Here is $5.50. She ran third to him there.
And
he
had
beat
a nice
her comfortably.
blending run and everything there.
She had every possible chance. Wycliffe just beat Converging over there in South Australia. No, Wycliffe gets Ollie aboard here, but they seem too short at sort of $5, $5.50 and $7 when he's $2.35. I thought he should be closer to sort of in the red. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts in the red, and I think at $2.35 I'd be happy sort of backing him at that price. And like we said, especially you get the luxury of Jay Carr, who's easily the best rider at the meeting.
Yeah, or Jay Carr and Ollie there, but I'll just have a look. Jay Carr, 8 rides at the meeting. The longest one in the early markets is $5.50. Now there might be a bit of strategy from the corporates putting them up really shorter than probably they should have been. But she's on $5.50, $3.70, $2.40, $5.50, $4.20, $4.20, $4.60, $4.60. Like she's going to ride a few more winners there on the weekend. And geez, I tell you, yeah, that horse. You're saying that you hope the run didn't take anything out of it. It was a very soft run apart from that 200 metres of bumping, wasn't it? It's just sat on the fence. It was just jogged along. So, good trainers, you're banking on them.
Yeah, they're lethal at sort of 2,500 metres, aren't they? They just tend to win all these staying races at Flemington. I think you're right with Jamie Carr. They are over-factoring her in some horses, but I don't think they've factored in enough on this horse. Yeah. Like, there's a few others on the day where you go, well, that's obviously, 2 points below what it should be because she's on. But
this one probably,
I think if that was the case here, this horse would be sort of $1.80, $1.90, and it's not. And I think it should be.
I like when you get that feeling in the race. Like when I did that race yesterday, the crew class race, and they put up 220 or 240, whatever crew class, and I'm looking at Gold Helmet, and they put up $5. Is it? Why is it $5? It should be $10. Kawadi, why is it $4.20? It should be $8. You got it yourself. You sort of know when you're popping those second and third picks at the price. That's when you want to jump into the favourite. As I send the mic flying.
You just shorten up, don't you?
I agree. Yeah, it's after the grand final day, so there's a little bit of a query here. But this is a horse. If it stays in the market and it doesn't get the staggers, you just want to be with this. The market will tell the story. If it stays hard, I think it'll win.
Yeah, I mean, if it been if it had a big gut buster grand final and everything, when you say, well, this is an afterthought, but it's apart from the bumping, it's had a barrier trial.
Yeah, so
should still have plenty left in the tank.
We're all aboard Harder Puissance and hopefully a bit of redemption. So if you saw that in the bulldozer, make sure you go again. Yeah, a horse like Sabato Excel is just proof. We backed that. We've backed that one or tipped that one up. It's come out and won, and there it is on in the Goodwood and
all honours. All honours.
Yeah,
up there, but getting half carded in front. Instant Celebrity coming up on its ginger and just off it went.
Just a winner, isn't he?
Just a winner.
He showed up in sort of Northern Territory. He's sort of winning attributes that he's got, and he just keeps doing it down here. So he's only 5, that horse. He feels a lot
he's going to
older,
keep going. I reckon he's got some more good races in him.
Yeah, off to Queensland by the sounds of it.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, sensational stuff. All right, race 9 is the Victorian Jockeys Association Plate. The top of the market here is Zakaz $4, Spring Choice $5.50, Don't Doubt Dory 8 into $6.50, Maserati Bay $7, Lunar Flare $7, Somerset Morn $12, and the replay we're going to have a look at here is Savaheat. Nico.
Yeah, he runs last here, so the punters might be thinking, what are you doing here, Nico? I've tried to inspire a bit of John Walter here in this. I feel like I tipped too many favourites on this show, and this horse is the one I think at a price can really do something. This was his first up run at Warrnambool. You see him out the back there in the Mick Price colours just bopping away there in the blinkers. I didn't think this run was actually that bad. He kind of tends to do this first up. He just sits out the back and kind of bludges away. He's got a really lethal second up record. His last 2 runs second up at Flemington over 1,800 metres, he's won. He won this race last year off a very similar first up run. And I thought that run was actually quite good. You look at the sectionals, he was the 4th fastest last 200 metres of that race on the punting form data. Everything's sort of weighing up that this horse is going to sort of run a really big race here second up. And I thought it sort of $26. I think a bit of 30s was shopped earlier. I think we're going to be probably looking at that price on the day. He gets a pretty good run here on the map from barrier number 8. And this is a race where it's very sort of even. There's not a whole lot between a lot of these. There's a few sort of progressive horses, but at his best, like second up last preparation, he ran third to Hangman and Irish Flame, Cup week over 1,800 metres on a good track. Like if he can reproduce that sort of performance here, he's a great horse second up. I think he's a horse we can back at sort of $26, and he can give us a bit of a sight at big odds.
31 into 26, and there was money for him at the Bull. I think he was 21 into 15.
He was only building his revs over the line there, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think key to that was Mark Zahra was on too, so maybe they thought we'll put Mark on, see where he's at. I thought he jumped out quite well leading into that run, and he paraded well. So I think there's sort of enough here to say that the stable's really clued on that this is a second up horse. Run him in the same race that he won last year.
Mick Price will know that. He's good at targeting that, and I like Yendall on a horse like that too. Momentum horse. Great momentum rider, Yendall.
So it was like you could probably make the case that, if a few of these stay in their current form, Spring Choice has probably got a bit of work to do from the map. He's got drawn a real wide barrier there, so I think he's going to have to go right back. Maserati Bay was a bit unlucky last start. Zach Haz is probably one of these horses that Jamie Carr's keeping a bit shorter in the market. Like he's coming through a bit of an inferior form line to a few of these, but he does get a very lovely run on this map from barrier number 5, and the blinkers go on the near side, I'm pretty sure. I think blinkers off and then blinkers near side on. So horses with issues like that, Jamie Carr seems to iron them out. He's probably a key chance, but I thought at $26, Savaheat's equally as good as all these horses, and he always peaks second up. So I think we can have something each way there for sure.
Just one you haven't mentioned, Don't Doubt Dory. What do you make of it? I had a bit of luck with it. I think it won on debut for me, I reckon, and it's a pretty... Is he probably won another one, or...? You've got to put up with Carlene, I suppose, don't you?
I found him in the yard last start, and he didn't have a whole lot of luck. Like, out of the same race, Maserati Bay was probably a better run, and you think maybe him, only first up in his preparation compared to Don't Doubt Dory was second up. Maybe Maserati Bay has more improvement. The rider is an issue, like Carlene Heffel.
On a Saturday in town, yeah.
She's a 3 kilo claiming apprentice. Look, they're learning their craft, but, for mine, she struggles in the provincial, so let alone backing her there, I don't want to be backing her in town.
Yep.
Can't really add much to that at all, but that's our wrap for Flemington. So Heart of Puissance, and we're going to go wide there with
just on Flemington. Yeah. If my horse goes there, I reckon he'll run really well. Real sensation.
Real sensation.
Now he's in Brisbane, but drawn well in Brisbane. He drew wide here, but I like him drawn wide. Keeps getting held up back on the inside. Right,
so last start was just a non-event, wasn't it?
So I don't mind him drawn wide. Go back, blend into the race, just let rip down the middle. But he's with the transport issues going to Queensland. Yeah. He might be down here. So
big price, $11.
That's race 8.
Race 8, number 1, $11.
I reckon they're vulnerable, horrifying, and Redwood Shadow after the other day. Don't know about them.
I thought Redwood Shadow was definitely the one to take out of those two. He's kind of keeps improving from the yard. I thought last start was probably his side seems like he's coming of age a bit. Like last preparation, he was just very green and immature. Now he's really strengthened up. They've got the earmuffs going on him. I think we'll see a very relaxed horse.
Ruba ran past him the other day, and he's a bit one pace for mine. I was a bit worried when Ruba went charging past both of them the other day. I know Horrifying had a wide run, so I reckon Real Sensation could knock him off.
Laura Lafferty claiming 3 on top. She's found some form as well, and a bit of confidence,
right,
hard worker.
Yep. No, she's really getting opportunities, and this is the time of year where these claims come in handy. But love to see that horse just blend down the middle and let rip.
It's a great card at Flemington on Saturday. Like last week, we had the sort of soft track to deal with. It threw up some odd results. We're going to be on a good 4 on Saturday. There's some really deep competitive races. I'm really keen to get there on Saturday.
You doing it on Sunday as well? You're doing the Mounting Yard on Saturday? You're going to do the double up, or just Flemington Saturday?
I think we'll just go Flemington Saturday and stay nice and fresh. I think Sounddown next Wednesday.
Sounddown Wednesday, yep.
But yeah, Sounddown on Sundays is of course the key jumps meeting. Doing the jumps races from the yard at the Bull. There's not a lot of edge there looking at the jumpers, so that's definitely a tough task.
How Britannicus look at the Bull? How'd he parade?
Well, Britannicus is in Sunday.
He's in Sunday,
Sunday, isn't he? So
Sunday.
Yeah, he looked well. Most of the jumpers just do. So I think Flying Agent's got a bit of doubt whether he's going to run. He's probably the star sort of jumper at the moment, isn't he? So interesting to see.
Was there anything that stood out, say, looking at the Galleywood to the ones who were going over 55 in the annual, or do they all just look fit and just nice and relaxed. And
Yeah, well, they're all like, 9, 10-year-old geldings. They've all sort of had 50 starts or something like that. So they all know what it's about. They're all super fit. And like I said, there's just not a whole lot of edge there.
But you can see the conditioning in them that's been put into them.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And just how fit they are.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell the trainers that get them really, really fit. Like Simon Wild's horses, Eric Musgrove's horses, always super, super fit. And it's because they get all the runs into them before that, the jumps trials and all the like. They are just different. I imagine it'd be probably one of the harder jobs training a jumper, and the Scooty's man Simon Wild, to see what he's done with a horse like Gold Medals, and even Paddy Payne with ZM, just freak horseman.
Yep, I totally agree.
It's unbelievable the difference. Britannicus last season to this season, he just looks like a different horse. He looks like the Hulk. Yeah, he's doing really well. Might be a sneaky place chance, but he just lacks a bit of a turn of foot, Britannicus. So buyer beware. He's a really hard horse to bet with any confidence. I definitely don't encourage big bets on my horse Britannicus, but Nico Noonan will be out there on Saturday doing the mounting yard, so make sure you head to the Little Birdie shop if you want his 3 to 5 minute out previews. He uses punting form. It's really easy to keep your notes. It lives in the cloud. You can't delete any of your work. If your computer has a malfunction, puntingform.com.au stores all your notes, so you can keep your database nice and secure with them. So make sure you give punting form a try. Up next, we're going to talk Johnny Walter and Rose Hill. Hopefully he's out of the cupboard by now. Welcome back to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I've got the punters punter, DK, with me, Nico Noonan. He's up and about. And I tell you what, we've got John Walter from racingwatch.com.au, and he's probably just got out of the cupboard after last week. Order again, Walt. Oh my God, that's nightmare stuff, isn't it?
Well, why would you bring that up?
I was going to say, I didn't. You're waiting for me to bring it up. I'm not giving a dig in the ribs after what happened there. He just came out of the
I had
cup.
some clown into me. Wouldn't have won anyway. You want to watch the replay again? Do you want my tickets? Jesus Christ. Anyway, we battle on.
Seeing them very well, Walt. But it's back at Rose Hill. It feels like an eternity since we've been back there. But race 7 you wanted to cover, the Lord Mayor Peter Volandi's Cup.
He wanted to cover it. He wouldn't. Did you really want to cover it?
No, he goes, we got to do this from any race and then one other. And then I thought, at least I get to pick the one other. Then I went through the whole meeting and there wasn't one other. But so we're doing race 7 and race 8.
The 1.5 mile listed race. Beauty.
Oh, wow.
More pain. Market odds courtesy of TopSport.com.au. Parry Sound 350 into 330. Polly Grey 650. Grey Line $7. Looked like Elvis 950. Was good in the Scone Cup. And Woogok $10. No replays here. You got the absolute Jimmy Brits, Walt. But is there any angles in this one?
Well, look like Elvis wouldn't run a 2,000 down a friggin' well with DK strapped to his back. So we're going to be. I think Polly Grey seems overlooked a bit. I don't understand why it's $7 or whatever it is. Still, I think it'll get a similar run. It was a great ride last start from T. Berry. I hate saying that, but it was true, and he rode it ideally. Should push forward into a nice spot, and I thought it should be favourite. The Parry Sound's going well, but it's another one of these horses that's sort of thrown into a level above where it probably should be class-wise. It gets in here on the limit, but it looks attractive, but he probably should be getting, I think it's another 3.5 kilos off this field. He's definitely flying, but we're talking benchmark 78 straight up to what do they call in this, a listed race. I'd be betting around it as good as it looks like it's going. Trying to find value in the race, which is always my shot at the title. I thought that Knight's Order sat outside the leader in a fast run Wagga Cup. It's a horse that comes to hand quickly, and even though it was beaten a fair way there, it could sit outside the speed again and run much better this time around. It's $18, and High Opinion comes out of the Parry Sound race, and I thought its run was everywhere near as good as it. It sort of rushed home late. He's a pretty hard horse to catch as he gets on, but if you forgive his last prep, his 3 runs back here have been really good. Jason Collett's the perfect rider to get these sort of horses home. You would probably drop him out, ride the fence. If he gets luck at $23, he's far better value for me than the favourite. So I thought Knight's Order and High Opinion with the roughies, and Polly Grey should have been favourite in the race, but probably a $5 or $6 favourite. Don't get me wrong, there's no moral here.
There's a rider down in Victoria that loves the fence as well, D. Oliver. Can't he find the coffin?
After yesterday at Ballarat,
Sacred Palace, wasn't it?
Sacred Palace, yeah. I kind of dodged a bullet there by the looks of things. The
He's
Fletcher
an
files was on
unlucky
there.
jockey, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fiorente 2014 gave him a license to do what he wants for the rest of his life. You cannot knock D. Oliver to me.
Yeah, there you go. The GOAT.
Tell you what, that is a woeful race, Walt. I'll have to do my homework a little bit better before I just ping off assigning races. But yeah, it's a very lackluster listed event for sure.
Yep.
Race 8, we've got the 4X handicap 1500 metres. It's amazing that New South Wales doesn't have many good beers, isn't it? They got 4X. Like, where's Tui's New gone?
Yeah, that's right. There must be. Yeah,
How are we going when we're promoting it? You didn't
exactly.
used to be the
That's
most
what I thought.
barred beer in New South Wales.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway, Stone and Wood goes pretty good. Anyway, the TopSport
What about,
prices.
isn't that Little Birdie? What about the Little Birdie lager or whatever it's called?
Oh, that's it. We've got our own beer, Little Birdie Lager, in at mid-strength. So we're going to do a bit of a launch. Once we get to the depths of winter, we'll figure out how we're going to start to distribute the beer. We're too busy betting at the moment. We're just in this absolute purple patch of betting. It wasn't a purple patch last week, but we've got the Lone Wolf stream tonight. Even you'll be buying shares into the dog stream. You're allowed to do that, aren't you, Walt?
Dirty, I'm not there. Ex-Dogs, man, I love it. I used to go to Wentworth Park every Friday night. I want to be a part of this action. I want to cheer them home. I'll be here in the lounge room in my undies, cheering them hard myself.
The market for race 8, the 1500 metre event at Rosehill, Ellsberg. Last start flop $2.30 is the favourite. Arch Anna for $9.50. Kerwin's Lane $10. Arapaho $11. Opacity $13. This is a horse that you tipped up the favourite here, Walt. Ellsberg. What went wrong last time?
Well, what do you keep mentioning the war? Everything, all the bad things. You're Mr. Negative today. I don't like it. You're normally the positivity amongst DK and I, and today you're bringing the bad vibes. But it was definitely a flat run from Ellsberg last start, and I'm pretty surprised that he's come up so short, considering it's not, it's probably a deeper field than last time, to be fair. And while you expect him to bounce back and back to his home track and all that, 240 seems pretty aggressive.
Did it go too big first up, maybe?
I think so, and I have spoken to the stable since, and they sort of said, well, maybe we just got a bit excited and drilled him a bit too much after that too, just getting a little bit excited. So they probably backed off him a bit and maybe just went a bit give him too hard a gallop the Tuesday before or something like that. And I'd expect him to be a little bit fresher and do a little bit more here, but still he'd want to justify his price.
Isn't that an old racing ramp pearl, Gerald Ryan Fresh, from I remember back in the day? So, maybe he was just a bit too fired up there.
Absolutely. And then, so to go again, second up's never easy, but I mean, value hunting again. There's a horse in this race that I can't get a run out of my head. There's the horse Spirit Ridge that we ran into in the Wagga Cup. This horse sat behind him. I remember Spirit Ridge sat 1-1 one day, and I remember it pulled out, and I thought it'd just win by 5. This thing snuck up off its back and went straight past it like it was stuck to the ground. And that was probably while the stable, the O'Shea stable, was not going anywhere near as well as it is now. So I think there's a horse there, Kerwin's Lane. They've got another sneaky one in their Opacity as well, but I think he'll keep for another day. And the big rider change, positive draw here. This horse, I know they bet $15 and it's already snuck into about 10, Kerwin's Lane, but I still think that's well and truly value in this race. I think it'll run a big race and then head up to Brisbane.
The gun.
Oh,
Inform the gun.
he was until last Friday.
Yeah. Mate, negative.
No, I took $24, so I'm just trying to express it, try and get rid of it before this weekend.
$24. It was a third leg of my $5 million to 1 all up or whatever it was. What was it? Char Ready into Charve into goddamn order again into me on the ground. It was pretty tough. But there is another horse in this race called Impasse that went like a rocket first up. I don't know why the riders jumped off it, but we get Campbell Rawilla. He's due to pull something out of the hat, Campbell Rawilla, and the only thing that is 13 to 1500 second up off a nearly a career best first up, so maybe a little bit flat, but $23 it's silly as well. So don't let it go round a loser Impasse.
Interesting rider, Campbell Rawilla, isn't he? Like down here, he was absolutely owning him in Victoria, and he's gone up to Sydney and doesn't seem like he's found that sort of form, whether he's not getting on the right horses, but I assume Saturday's a good opportunity with a lot of the higher class Sydney riders away at Doomben and the like for maybe a jockey like Campbell or someone else to really step up.
Yeah, and it might be the making. Who knows? I mean, he wouldn't be for lack of trying. You know, he's got the ability there. He showed it down here, but he's just, I don't know, just in the deep end up there, and who knows.
He definitely looks like he's a rider that's lacking confidence, as in every time he goes left, he probably should have gone right at the moment, and that obviously does happen to all of them at some point in their career. And if he strings one or two together, yeah, like he rode one of Gay's really well, led all the way at Wyong the other day, and everyone tells me that leading is his MO, like it's his highest attribute. He can sort of punch him out when he gets him up there, and he did a good job on Gay's, and probably only needs one or two more to get back firing, but he definitely needs a bit of a confidence boost. And now's the time, like you said, when the big boys are away.
Have you got a sneaky little Shah ready for us as you dropped last week? Is there a meeting somewhere that you're positive or happy or you like? Well, I keep giving you the bad races. You got a little rule out wide?
You give me these races that take 3 hours to do, which stop me going and looking at the races that are actually solvable. But so I'll get old mate with his 17th package for the day. Beck hates ordering online, doesn't she? Hates buying crap. But anyway, she's not up. She doesn't know about order again. There's absolutely nothing. I'm probably heading to Mackay to cheer a couple of our own camels home Friday. That's how bad I'm going. So there's nothing from me at this point. If I find anything, I'll be sure to pass it on to the captain.
Outstanding. I'm going to
Good
make
luck tonight too, by the way.
I'm going to make Walt sit around for the Top Sport big bets. Just because he poked his head up on Twitter, I'm just going to drag him through a couple of more minutes of pain here. We'll get the the big bets up on the screen now. Top Sport's early movers here. We've got Flemington Race 3 is Mangani, $500 at $11. Any thoughts there, Nico?
Weird sort of setup. He's in at Geelong as well, and he's been smashed. Me and DK were just talking about this horse off air before, so I don't know what to make of him.
Well, so I've done the form for Geelong and saw it in D. Oliver first start. I mean, go and look at the jump outs; they're inconclusive for a horse kicking off at 1400. Then I say, well, I'll see. It's in Saturday, so I'll get a guide what to expect Friday to see what the market does on Saturday. Straight away, 26 into 8 before you could blink your eye. So very, very interesting run of that horse.
Race 5, number 11, Well Sprung, 100 each way at hundreds there, bit of a spec. Race 8, number 17, Trip, 200 at 51, Matty Tripp's horse. Murray Bridge, race 6, number 11, Winning Weather, $1,600 there. And Murray Bridge, race 8, number 11, Too Good, Too Hard. A horse we've seen a fair few times there, $500 at $9. And Walt, this could be your money, actually. In the golf, the US PGA Championship, someone's had $20,000 on John Rahm at $15 in the outrights, and then $80,000 on John Rahm at $375 to run top 5. I know it's the golf. We've done a golf podcast yesterday, but that's 100K is a massive outlay, and looks like you've got the Rambo headband on there, Walt. You've just gone into costume there.
You've got people out there in this life like Luke Dooner who like taking $1.20 every day. You've got stickos everywhere, but this is the hardest golf course in the world, which means you throw in a bit of weather, it becomes impossible. And someone wants to throw 100,000. I don't care if he collects. Good luck to him. But mate, there's people who love pain, and there's people who've got too much money and love pain. And this bloke must be in number 2, because it doesn't matter how well you play this week. The weather and bounces, and like I heard him saying he's the shortest iron. He did a couple of par 4s with practice rounds with 4 irons and stuff. And old mate was pulling wood covers off all day that was playing with him.
It's amazing.
Too much pain for even me.
Yeah, they said. I think yesterday there was someone quoted. What would a 5 handicapper shoot around this course at the PGA Championship out at Kiwi Island? They said they wouldn't break 100 in the current conditions.
Deepest creepers.
Well, I think normally, like old mate said, the slope or whatever, which I don't really understand, that's like 79. I'm assuming it's past 72. So they're saying the actual par of this course is 79 for a normal Willy Wombat, and that's in when it's Monday to Friday. You and I going around having a whack, not when it's set up for a US PGA.
It's fascinating stuff, but what a bet from TopSport. Like, they've just found the biggest tournament, the deepest market, and just laid the shoulders back and taken the bet on one of the favourites. That's why we love TopSport. Absolutely sensational.
They found Luke Dooner with Glyn Schofield's credit card. That's what they've found. What a pun this bloke must be.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Good luck on the weekend. Well, hopefully not too many sick beats go your way, and I'd love to see your costume box. You got the headband on store there. You would have one of the best repertoires of outfits out of anyone in the racing game. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
That's enough for us. We're going to prep ourselves for the Brisbane Vegas show and the Lone Wolf stream tonight. Make sure you check out the Lone Wolves. I tell you what, don't worry about the PGA markets. They're deep. They're very deep and difficult markets. But watch these dog punters tear up and make the market move in this Lone Wolf stream tonight. It'll be a sight to behold. 4.5 hours. There's no decent AFL or NRL on tonight. I think there's the North Queensland Cowboys game, which is pretty average. So make sure you jump on the YouTube stream from 5:45 and watch the Lone Wolves 2.
And you'll probably learn something as well.
That's unbelievable.
Absolutely nothing about dogs. And watching it last time, I learned a lot. Just listening to the boys talk, like, when you talk about racing 24/7 like us, you tend to know everything, Barrier 1, all those kind of things, and you hear them talk about it. It's like a whole completely different sport, isn't it? So, definitely if you're looking to sort of bet more on the dogs or something like that, definitely listen to Troy and Paddy because they know their stuff for sure.
It was a fair effort. 133,000 last time to 505K. I had to bleach the melon, and this time we're raising money for Beyond Blue. So I've said that I'll dye my hair blue if they can get to $1 million. So fingers crossed they do it. The missus copped it pretty well last time. But it's been a fantastic show. I think Beat the Badman's confidence is... I think he's a bolter. Looks like an absolute bet. Harder Puissance, they look the bankers for this week's show, and hopefully DK, we can stop getting some scratchings, and DK out wide can fire up over the weekend.
Yeah, I think we got Wodonga Saturday, so that's one of my little joints. We'll hopefully find a couple there for the punters.
Outstanding stuff. All right, make sure you follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. We're everywhere. Make sure you get on board Nico Noonan's Mounting Yard Mail, and we'll catch you next week.